Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with a quick draft recap, and this one is of the PPL D League. So this is like a second league of the PPL that they're doing now on the off season of the regular PPL. So thanks to Jack for inviting us into this one. For this league, there are two divisions, and of course us NJ Go Dangos are in the Bolt division. So there's a Bolt and Flare division. There's two divisions. I don't know how playoffs is gonna work, but we're in the Bolt division. And yeah, we're just gonna talk about the team really quick. I'm gonna try to speed run through this so we can make it as short as possible. Just talk about the really fun team that I drafted. So let's get into it right away. So first up, I think we were like, I think there were 16 coaches and we were 15 or 14, something like that. So we were close to the lower wheel, which is just good with me because I've been getting the upper wheel a lot for all my draft leagues. It's nice to be able to get something close to the end, and we can kind of synergize our team pretty well. But let's just go into the team really fast and just see how our team is looking for this season. So first off, we start off with Urshifu Rapid Strike. So I ended up picking Urshifu because I always wanted to try this one really bad. A lot of the other mons that I wanted to try were off the board, but this was definitely one of the ones on my list. And I decided to go with it because it's a really cool mon. It has good base speed of 97. It hits really hard. Hits like a truck with surgeon strikes, always getting crits. It has bulk up. It has what's it called? Sword stance. So it's a really cool mon. It's gonna be really fun to try. Water stab is really bulky. It's got fighting stab also. So I'm super excited to use this Pokemon. And we had to kind of find something that we want to pair up pretty well with it so it can break down its walls. And next up, what we do have is Goldango. So the team mascot Goldango is on the squad finally once again. I really love this mon. Very bulky, hits very hard, it has a good speed tier. It can recover, it can nasty plot, it can get like any status base moves, which makes it really hard to stop. It can stop defog, rapid spin, so if we have hazards up, especially for Shifu, which really benefits from hazards, Goldango is really going to shine for Shifu. It can take on the fairies, it can do damage to water types that will also want to come in, and it can really hurt psychic types that also want to come into Shifu. So it's really nice because Shifu can like U-turn into Goldango, create a really good core, powerful, bulky mons that we start off with. And next up, we do pick up one of the new mons in the DLC, and that is OGERPON. So this is regular OGERPON. We can actually run an item on it. It gets Defiant. It's very fast, 110 speed. Hits very hard. It gets that move. I forget what it's called. Something cudgel. I forget what it's called. But this mon is also really good. It also gets some momentum with U-turn. We get sword stance, knockoff, spikes. I'm really excited to use this. It fits really well with the team. It takes on the bulky waters that want to go into Urshifu, and I think it's just a very bulky, versatile mon that can work well with Urshifu and Goldango because they're both very bulky, versatile. And it can take on grass moves for Urshifu and ground moves for Goldango. So I think together they work really well. It's giving us a faster speed tier that we needed because we didn't have anything over 100 or at 100 period. So that is OGERPON. Very excited to use it. New mon. It's going to be fun to use. Next up, we did pick up Glimmora. So Glimmora I wanted to pick up because another thing to take on fairy type, but mainly it's because I can hazard stack with my team really well and stop them from rapid spinning or defogging anything away because of Goldango. So I think this combination could be pretty deadly. It can help Goldango or Shifu or OGERPON. It can help anything on the team to be able to chip things around with such a powerful team like with Urshifu and Goldango that can hit very hard. OGERPON can hit very hard. It's just going to help chip down the team. And Glimmora is something not to sleep on. Like, it's not just here to set up hazard. It can hit very hard. Poison Staff very good, Rock Staff very good, it gets Rock Polish, it can be annoying with Corrosion and things like that. So I think Glimmora mixed with this team, it's going to be very, very nice. So I'm super excited to be able to finally pick up Glimmora, something that I always hated to go up against. It's finally on our team. So next up, we picked up our Terra Captain, and that is Jolteon's Terra Electric, Fairy, and Fire. So I might end up changing Fire, but Looking at the matchups, Fire actually looks pretty nice, so I might end up keeping it. We actually kind of pressure ground types pretty well with OGERPON and Urshifu, so I don't think it's that bad if we're not Ice. And Fire helps us take on Steel types pretty well also. So Jolteon, one of the best Terra captains there can be, extremely fast. Terra Fairy hits so many things. I've actually almost lost to Terra Fairy Jolteon in PBA. It was very scary. It killed like 4 mons on my team. We ended up winning anyways, but it was super scary. Very good specs mon. It can be Calm Mind. I believe it can set up like Reflect and Light Screen also. Voltasorb is also very nice to be able to come in on electric moves with ease. But that is Jolteon. Also gets Quick Feet, which could be something really fun to play around with. And Baton Pass is also nice, so we can still gain momentum if there are ground types that want to switch into it. Next up, I did want to get a Dark type to be able to take on the Psychic type that will go into Urshifu, and that is the Homie Iron Jugulis. So I've wanted to try this mon for a while. 2 of my very close friends used it in what's it called, in PPL, I think was the first league, that's what it was called. Padel used Iron Jugulis very well, and then KJ also used Iron Jugulis very well in PDD, so I wanted to try it on our team now. So it's here with Quirk Drive. We can get boosted energy. It has a nice tier, speed tier of 108. It can hit very hard. Hurricanes are very hard to switch into. We can do Dark Pulse, we can U-turn around, we get knockoffs. This thing's gonna be very fun to use. I tend not to pick up mons that rely on like Hurricane to be able to do a lot of damage, but I think it's worth it with this because it is decently bulky, it can take hits, and I don't know, it's a ground type. I mean, it's a flying type that is immune to ground, obviously, so it helps Glamora, it helps Goldango out a lot. And again, it synergizes well with Urshifu Rapid Strike because they can take on those Psychic types that could be a bit annoying against Urshifu. So I'm super excited to use this thing finally on our squad, and we are here to try to shine with it. Next up, we pick up a Azumarill. Yes, we already have a Azumarill in GBU, but I really love this mon. It's so good. It takes on so many of the big scary threats in Draft League. Things like Excalibur, Roaring Moon. It takes on those things pretty easily, and I don't know, I really love this mon. Thick Fat is such, sorry, not Thick Fat, Huge Power is such a good ability to have with a bulky water fairy. Such a good combination of typings that is really good in this draft meta. So I'm very happy to use the Azumarill. Not much to talk about it because we already know from GBU, and you guys already know Azumarill's pretty nice. So it hits very hard, very bulky, can be belly drum, it gets priority. It's a really fun mon, and I'm happy to have it on our team again. Now next up, I pick up one of like the sleeper mons that I've been really enjoying to use, and I used it in PBA, and that is Azelf. So Azelf, a Psychic type, very fast with 115, very strong on both physical and special. It's a very good Scarfer, a very good lead with Stealth Rocks, Explosion, it gets momentum, it gets knockoff, it can get Nasty Plot. It's a very cool mon. Azelf is, I think, a mon that people tend to sleep on a lot because I don't know, people don't plan for it too well, so I think it's a really good mon to have, gain momentum and just kind of nuke things, and having a move Mystical Power that it stab and it raises a special attack just by hitting it is actually pretty clutch, and I really like Azelf. I think it's gonna put in a lot of good work this season. I'm very happy to be able to pick it up. It adds the speed tier between Jolteon and OGERPON, which is really great. We have a really fast team right now. And next up, I did end up picking up Toadschool. So I also have Toadschool in GBU. I don't know if I'm a big fan of Toadschool yet. Barely have been able to bring it, but at least it's something that that we can use as a ground type to be able to take on electric moves for Azumarill, for Urshifu, for Iron Jugulis. It's another grass type, but obviously completely different from OGERPON. We get things like Spore, it gives us the rapid spin that we really needed, and it gives us a lot of hazards. Once again, like with Glamora, hazard stacking with Goldango is going to be very nice, and it's going to be hard for things to be able to come into this. We can knock off items, we can Spore, set up hazards. It could be it's a decently good Scarfer, to be honest, and ground moves are always good to have, so that is Toadschool. Next up, our second Terra captain is Tatsugiri. I'm super excited to be able to use Tatsugiri. First of all, I guess Rapid Spin, that's another reason why I picked it up. But being able to be a Terra, and we are Terra Fairy Steel, so Dragon Fairy Steel Core in one Pokemon is pretty cool. This thing is very strong, it has a decent speed tier. With Rapid Spin, we can raise that speed It gets Nasty Claw. It's immune to water moves. I think it's gonna be a really fun mon. People I feel like may actually sleep on it, and that could really be detrimental to them because I think Tatsugiri is very good. Has a good special attack. And it's just going to be a really good mon to try out, especially with Terra. I think it's going to be really, really awesome to use. And that is Tatsugiri. Next up, and the last one on our team is Oinkuoin. This mon, I don't really know how it works, but it's a normal type. I needed a normal type for ghost types, and it's really bulky. I really think this thing is going to be pretty fun to use. It gets stick fat, it has 110 HP, it has decent attack, decent speed, and 80. I think, not 80, sorry, 65. It's a cool mod. I think it's going to be fun to use. I've never used it, I've never seen anyone use it either, but it gets some cool abilities, and I think it's just a good normal type to be able to mix together to help with a little bit of that ghost weakness, because so far we only really had Iron Jugglist that's able to take on ghost type moves, and now we have this mod that's going to just pretty much finish off the team. So I hope you guys do like the team. I'm super excited. We already played week 1 and it was just fun building in general with this team. It's a very fun, offensive, bulky team that hopefully I can do well with. So this draft recap is going up on a Saturday, I believe. And then the battles are going to be going up on Sunday. So I hope you guys are excited. Another league, more content for you guys to watch. And I hope I can bring some good wins for you guys. So hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you like the team. Or anything you would change, and give me some nicknames if you do have any. But thank you guys once again for all the support. I'll see you guys on Sunday for the battle.